when you see the movie, you might think that, okay, they're making Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Maybe it'll be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where Surge/Ooze gets on a hedgehog and he turns into Sonic that we know, right? He is a mutant. But if you've seen the movie, he's from a different world.
Yeah.
So what does it matter that he looks like a hedgehog?
Right.
Like, he's an alien. He can look like anything.
I'm coming at it from like, that is a bad character design. It's bad. It's creepy. It's off-putting. He has too many weird human features that don't need to be there. It
He looks like a kid in a pajama suit.
Yeah. He's got lanky limbs and like proportional feet and like weird little human hands that are like so creepy. Human teeth.
Yeah, the teeth.
Like, it is a bad character design.
It's like leaning into the uncanny valley.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
I actually think that I might have been less offended if they had made him look at least like a hedgehog. Like, if it had just been like, hey, look at this tiny cute hedgehog and he's blue and he's fast, I would have been like, all right.
Oh my God, I would have loved that.
That would
if
have
it
been
was
adorable.
just like, if they just like
It's just
baked.
like,
Actual like
don't-
little
Yeah.
palm of your hand hedgehog.
Yeah, that'd be so cute.
Hey,
like,
just-
hedgehogs are cute as hell.
Gotta go fast. Yeah.
Making stuff is hard, especially in the entertainment world when there are millions of dollars on the line. And we are going to talk about these disastrous, never-ending, and sometimes dangerous productions. This is The Shit Show.
Hello, friends. I'm Ian, joined by Clint
Hello.
and Ray.
Hello.
And this is It Was a Shit Show. So, some news. Y'all remember when I said a while back that I was going to give Shit Show 2 years to take off?
Yeah.
Well, the first episode was posted on April 29th, 2020. Well, we recorded that on April 11th. Then 3 days later, I posted the Batman video, which, if you didn't hear, kind of exploded.
If you have not seen this video, it is all over the internet.
Apparently. As of recording this, it has crossed 550,000 views on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot of YouTube bucks, y'all. Basically, we're rich now.
Yeah. It's not even monetized, but it's all right.
I was saying-
I don't regret that at all.
I was gonna say, y'all are rich. I'm still just the fly on the wall. Just, I tell everybody, it's like, you guys, friends, other friends, and other family that I know would appreciate it. Look at this thing that I'm a part of. Like, I had nothing to do with this particular video, but look at this thing I'm so proud of. Yeah.
You're still part of it. I barely have anything to do with the videos, but it went viral, as the kids say.
As the kids say.
And I know at least 3 of those views are me, because I've watched this a few times.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know, really. It's been, as I was saying, seems to happen on the 2-year mark. And I am going to be busy. So this is so great that it's happening, but a really bad time.
Yeah.
So I'm a mixed emotions about it. It's been really awesome. Most of the comments have been absolutely positive. I'm kind of sick of people calling me out for not mentioning Danny O'Neill or something, like the comic writers that I glossed over for Frank Miller. But it's like, guys, this is about movies. We're moving on. It's not important.
It is weird how many people on YouTube expect you to be making bespoke content for them. They're like, why didn't you include this thing? And it's like, that's not what the video is about, bro.
I didn't make to be everything for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
my opinion of that too is like, if you wanted something in a video, you fucking make it.
yeah, exactly. Right.
And again, if you tried to fit everything into a video, it would be the fucking Snyder cut.
Yes.
And we don't need that in YouTube form.
We don't even need the Snyder.
We don't. No one does. But yeah, like you said, like most of the comments have been, I do not dare even look at the YouTube comment section, but Ian reads me a lot of the comments and they have been very positive, and a lot of lovely folks commenting and complimenting Ian on how much research he does, because he does work really hard on these. So anyway, yeah, just appreciate everybody
I love it when you
watched that video.
share the screen grabs.
All
in our
the
text
random
thread.
comments.
I love it.
Somebody commented on one of the podcasts and was just like, I love Ray. She's awesome. And I was just like, oh my God, thank
Yeah,
you so much.
It's true.
And I just replied, back off, buddy.
Back
She's
off.
married.
I mean, listen, like hit me up. We'll see what happens.
Well, then I replied, I was like, what? No love for old Clint? And I was like, no, I delete those. Is what this is your reply. I am totally fine.
We
With,
block those people.
YouTube, you can put in rejected words. So if anybody types that word, I will never see that comment. And I put in Clint as one of them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
No, actually, speaking of that, like one of the downsides of this is that as much as all the positivity went to the Batman video, the second biggest video to get the biggest bump off of all of this was the Ghostbusters video, which turned real ugly real quick in the comments.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to come at me saying that it was because I didn't want to hear a differing opinion. That's what they think. I was just blocking people for that. No, I started blocking some stuff because it got real ugly, real misogynistic, really racist in there, and I had to turn off the comments.
Which literally is those people proving the entire point of the video.
Point of the video.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember when we made that video, we had so many discussions and back and forth, and you and I talked at length about, can we say this? Should we say this? Like there was so much stuff that we were so afraid to say because we knew that people were going to come at us. Like I was like, I can't, I'm not going to take the heat of trolls. Like I don't need that bullshit in my life. And so like we had to be pretty careful, and we cut a lot of stuff out and we tightened it up and we made sure that like everything we said was very like fact-based and not just like how we felt about things.
Very deliberate word choices.
There was a lot of work put into that video. And it's so obnoxious. Well, you know, and like, we were worried about putting it out, and then you were like, like I don't have enough viewers to like get the ire of the internet. And then like, of course, the second the Batman video blows up, then all these people start like they just like laser
What else has
eye
he
at the
got?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah, he's gonna trash
I
it.
have
Yeah,
an
he's gonna get it. Yeah.
And then
I've
like,
got
"Nah."
an opinion about that movie.
Yeah.
And
And it goes back to
just
what
so
we
obnoxious.
keep saying is people watch that video and they hear there's a sentence in there that says something to the effect of some fans feel entitled to these properties, and some of them will get very angry about it becoming toxic fandom. And from there on, I just talk about the trolls and whatnot. And I say some of the fans. Like, I don't say all fans are all trolls, all fans are toxic. I don't say that, but that's what they're hearing. And they just jump right into it. And I would sit there and all these comments were coming up and I'd be like, put the timestamp of where I said that thing that you just accused me of.
Right.
And they never respond.
they can't. Yeah.
And then it just turned out, and it was just like
Yeah.
after like 4 days after that, I was just like, this is not worth my mental health. I was like, I don't give a shit anymore. So I turned off the comments, and of course they start cropping up other places.
Yeah, that's
just
the
like,
worst part. They go to other videos. Well, since you turned off the Ghostbusters comment, I'm
Yeah.
gonna come into this video
Yeah.
to
Oh my
say a
God.
bullshit thing. And it's
Look,
like,
just
okay,
because you
calm
have an
down.
opinion doesn't mean it's right.
Or that we give a shit about hearing it.
Yeah.
Luckily, YouTube does has this wonderful feature where you can hide a user, so they think they're right. They wrote a comment, but no one will ever see it in anything on the Shit Show channel.
That's amazing.
So if a troll screams into the void,
And nobody is around to hear them.
yeah.
Are
So
they still validated?
Yeah.
and then it's just been kind of crazy. We'll see how far this goes. It's been just a steady incline, that one video, and everything else is getting bumps, including the podcast. So
Yay.
hopefully we'll get a lot of
And maybe just a little love for Clint. Just a little. Just a
Oh
tiny.
my God! Will somebody
tiny bit.
please leave a message that
Look,
they love
not
Clint?
a
For
lot.
the-
Just
Jesus.
a tiny, just a little. You don't even have to say if you like me or not. Just type my name
yeah.
into the comments. That's all you gotta do. Just say
just Clint.
just Clint.
Just the comment. Clint.
CLINT.
So you're gonna get so many just like clits,
Probably.
clit,
Clit.
clit.
Well, if they just type it all caps, the L and the I become a U. So I'll probably get some of that too. Just a little bit. You know, even if you hate me, I think that I'm gonna just
somebody please go leave Clint a pity comment, okay?
He
please.
just wants you don't even you just want to be known. Like you don't care if
I love this
everybody just posts like, God damn it, get Clint off the podcast. They hear me.
Yeah. I just love doing the show so much, you know?
So, but today's episode was meant to be fan-led changes, and I only got around to researching Sonic the Hedgehog, which is totally okay because there's enough there to make a full episode. And it is a classic example of late timing on my part for the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, now in theaters. So today, let's talk Sonic the Hedgehog.
I love it. Yeah, I grew up playing the video game. To me, it put a massive smile on my face because it reminded me how iconic this character is and how passionate that fan base is. And so it was like, yes, these are people that care, that want this to be right and want to see this movie. And it was like, fantastic. Let's make everybody happy.
I thought it was great. You know, I had a little bit of my concerns, my own concerns, and, you know, people jumped right in there, and they will not be ignored. And that's the new world, you know? And so I think that was very incredibly helpful. You know, I think it was great.
All right, so let's begin. What is Clint wearing this time?
I have borrowed my son's Sonic the Hedgehog baseball cap that's got his eyes. It's got his little spiny things, and it used to have a little soundboard in here. You'd press a little button, you'd go bling, yeah, and do the
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Bling, like, you know, the bouncing on the thing. Yeah, but it doesn't do that anymore. This is from forever ago, and now it's just
No, that's
Now it's
dead.
just crunchy.
Yeah.
How many spines are on there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 spikies on
Six
the back.
spikies with his ears. Yeah.
It's a pretty badass
So-
hat.
He's a lot like I am, where like he'll get really interested in a franchise and just watch everything he can and just loves everything he can about it, and then he'll move on, but still kind of retain all that knowledge. But just like any other kid, he like loses interest. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Do you still like Sonic, right?" And he's like, "Nah." I was like, "Buddy, I bought you a hat. Like we did all this other Sonic stuff for you." And I was like, and he's like, "Nah." But and the Lego set came out. So I was like, "Do you want the Lego set?" He's like, "Nah, I'm not really into Sonic anymore." The second movie comes out. We go and see it. He grabs his hat. We watch the first one again. He's like, I think I want that Lego set now. All right, whatever, buddy.
Kids, they're so fickle. I was gonna say that I'm slightly relieved that is your son's and not your hat.
Oh, like I would be wearing this around?
Yeah,
it's
just every once in a while, I just wear my Sonic hat.
It's a big choice.
If the sound still worked, I probably would. If I was as big a fan of Sonic as my son is, because I do own a lot of hats, and some of them are a little bit more novelty than others. Like I have my Indiana Jones hat, which I do wear.
Yeah.
I have Marty McFly Jr.'s rainbow
The rainbow hat,
and
yeah.
I wear that from time to time as well.
You've worn those all here from
Yeah.
time to time.
And I do wear those out in public.
Okay, starting off, we're going to start in 1992. Sega of America began exploring their properties in other mediums, starting with the animated series in 1993. That went only 2 years to 95. I never watched this. I don't remember
I
it.
feel like I remember that show.
Okay.
I
Yeah?
remember it, and I remember like Sonic has gone through a dramatic, not dramatic, but like an interesting design
Yeah.
change.
Constantly. Like,
Yeah.
there's always
Yeah.
just like a new version of him that's
Yeah.
but it's very subtle. And
He used to be like
now he has a scarf.
yeah.
Now his shoes are purple.
Yeah, like he was like
No,
he
that's
was like-
blasphemy.
he was like a little pudgy, like round, like cute little hedgehog, and then
Yeah.
like later on, like, no, let's make him like a lean motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, so he got taller. He got like that's
Yeah.
kind of
He,
that's
like,
what he's kind of
bulked
known for now.
up.
Yeah, but now he's got a scarf like some hipster.
Yeah. So I don't really remember that, but apparently that show ended on a cliffhanger. So that will come back.
Okay.
Okay. So then Sega really wants a movie. But president of Sega of America, Tom Kalinske, now maybe one day we'll talk about the console wars between Sega and Nintendo because that was a good old brawl.
Oh.
But the reason that Sega is so well known here in the United States really comes down to Tom Kalinske. He was working for Mattel, and Sega personally asked him to take over Sega of America, and he turned it around. He's the reason Sonic became so huge here and the Genesis. And he was wary of doing a movie because at Mattel, they made the Masters of the Universe film, a canon movie, and
Jesus.
a movie that they ran out of their budget halfway through, and it all takes place in a shopping mall instead of in the fantasy world.
Right.
It's such a canon move.
Yes, it is real awful.
I would love for that to be a shit show because any excuse I have to watch Masters of the Universe, I'm going to take it.
We might actually, because there's enough. There might. I haven't really dived into it, but there's a very interesting connection between that and Superman 4. Because some of that budget of Superman 4 went into Masters of the Universe, and then they
And
cut
it
that.
shows in both movies.
Yeah, exactly.
In both movies.
So he was kind of wary of that, but then also, what other movie would have come out to make him worried about making Sonic a movie?
As Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers,
Yes.
the very first video game movie, followed by Super Mario Brothers was in '93, and
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Yes, hell yes.
Street Fighter.
Clint joined our
there
bad
some,
movie night for one time only, I guess.
No, I was there for the Herbie one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
right.
Yeah.
So, but he got to bring his, and he brought Street Fighter.
Nice.
So, yes. So both very strange movies.
Street Fighter, surprisingly, a very inclusive movie.
Yeah, we just covered this.
Yeah, I was not there for that bad movie night, but you were telling me, you're like, the cast is actually like ethnically accurate for all
Yeah,
the characters.
kind of very weird.
There was no washing of
With
there was no washing
with
of
the
any kind.
exception of the main character of Belgium.
Belgium as the all-American.
Jean-Claude
yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But overall, Sega didn't care. Like, they were like, this is great. And then Klinsky was like, okay, but maybe the Sonic brand was strong enough to probably withstand a bad movie. Who said that same thing?
Mario.
Yeah,
Mario
Nintendo.
folks. Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like, oh, it'll be strong enough to withstand it. True.
Right.
that's
they
Still
weren't-
not a good thing.
They weren't wrong.
So under MGM, they hire Richard Jeffries to write the script. At the time, his biggest thing is he wrote The Vagrant. This one stars Bill Paxton, directed by Chris Walas.
Wayless. Wayless. Okay, I feel like I remember
Did
the
you
name.
already
Chris-
look it up?
Mhm.
I remember the
cheater.
name Chris Wayless, and I feel like he wrote, directed. Oh, he was the animatronic special effects guy on Gremlins.
Yes, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Oh!
Well done,
Oh.
Ray. Well done.
Yeah, and I didn't cheat like a big old cheater.
I also wasn't asked, so fuck y'all.
Those moments where Ian goes,
Yeah, that's both
is
of you.
for anybody.
Yeah.
to
Okay,
answer.
fine.
Yeah. So starring Bill Paxton, directed
Fine,
by
let
Chris
me
Walas.
put this away.
Produced by Mel Brooks.
Oh,
And it's kind of like a horror movie. Anyway, that's all that Richard Jeffries was kind of known for.
I
But
learned
this is a-
today that Mel Brooks is a prolific drummer. No idea. Anyway, carry on.
I guess I will. I don't know what I'm.
I don't think we can.
Yeah,
after
from that,
that
information,
Yes,
I
this
feel
is
like we
why.
should
This
just
is why I
stop.
don't. This is why I don't get any love.
No, okay, so but Jeffries is this guy that they hired to write
Right,
Sonic. Okay,
who wrote
got it.
2 horror movies.
Feels appropriate.
Sega wanted the movie to coincide with the release of their in-production Sonic Extreme, the game for their upcoming console, Sega Saturn.
Such a fucking 90s thing to do.
I was gonna say like
Sega Extreme.
Yeah.
you 12-year-olds that are subscribed to our channel will never understand the madness that was the 90s.
Just like,
Just
I mean,
the
video
madness.
game ads in the 90s were just
I
fucking
mean,
insane.
the tag for Sega was Sega. Like, oh my god, everything was so fucking intense.
Yeah, it really
That
was.
dude
Like-
just spouted like a bunch of Surge.
I was just gonna say, do you remember Surge? That shit looked like the toxic green goop from Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get Surge at Burger King.
Oh my God.
So there's that for you as well.
All right, hold on. We got to go take a quick Burger
we'll
King
be right
break.
back.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, why didn't you bring some?
I didn't know if you listen. We're talking about Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. I'll fucking bring some Surge. All right.
Okay, so Jeffries tours Sega, and he talks with the creatives behind Sonic, and then he hands in his treatment in May of 1995, called Sonic the Hedgehog: Wonders of the World. So this follows 12-year-old Josh, son of divorced parents, of course, because that's
Such a 90s move.
90s thing, who is writing a book report about Sonic, a test pilot who died while trying to break the sound barrier. His dad made a prototype holographic memory machine called Extremely Radical Intelligence.
Oh my God.
Shut up. All of this. Shut up.
And Josh tries to use it to write his paper for him, but the machine doesn't know who Sonic is.
Okay.
So Josh plugs in his Sega Saturn
Oh my God.
to play Sonic Extreme to demonstrate. I don't get that at all.
This is so complicated. I'm sorry. Wait. So was Sonic like the name of a man, or was
Yeah, apparently.
an actual hedgehog a fighter pilot?
No, that's why it's this,
What's happening?
right? It's
I
already
don't-
like, why isn't the test pilot's name something completely random?
Like even if it was like Sam Sonic or something, like is he Madonna? What?
Yeah, I don't know what his last name was.
The
but
complexity.
Like, but why would you plug in a Sonic game? I don't know. It's 90s logic, right?
So Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Saturn
was it like
exists in a world where there was also a fighter pilot named Sonic
Sonic.
who's trying to break the sound barrier.
and died?
This is bizarre. This is absolute nonsense.
So the machine, the XRI machine, then spits out the sentient CGI character Sonic the Hedgehog, who's just
Of course.
in real world now, who proceeds to go ape shit with curiosity, like the real film, right? Or the final film that we'll be getting to. But Dr. Robotnik also comes out, who's been yearning to be free from the video game world. I don't know why you would know.
Yeah. How do you? You're not in the Matrix, bro.
Yeah.
You're not offered a blue and red pill.
You don't know any better.
Yeah. You're just living in green hills,
Oh.
chasing around a little blue rodent. You have no idea if there's anything any different.
He's never
Yeah.
questioned the nature of,
Of
his
his
reality.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos ensues. Robotnik. This was really okay. This gets really random. Okay, so Robotnik takes over an amusement park, which turns school kids into his robot army
Yep.
to dig for Chaos Emeralds to power the XRI machine, to digitize the wonders of the world, and to keep people from finding out, he sends out robot clones of the kids to their parents' house. What?
So wait, he's kidnapping kids, turning them into robots, but then he's making robots to take them back to their parents so the parents don't get wise?
I'm gonna be honest here. You lost me at 12-year-old Josh with divorced parents. Like that's about as far as I'm tracking the plot of this movie. Like there's a 12-year-old kid whose parents are divorced, and he had to do a book report. Like that's where I'm at.
This just has 90s just written all over
It
it.
absolutely
It's like,
does.
sure, why not? Sure. And it kind of really weirdly sounds a little bit like Pinocchio.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So,
Going to Pleasure Island, turn them to donkeys.
I want to be a real hog.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So, and the finale takes place inside the Sega Saturn, where they defeat, the kid goes in there with Sonic.
Of course.
And where they defeat Robotnik, but Sonic has to stay in the game to keep an eye on Eggman.
Aw.
So,
Of
course.
And this movie wasn't made.
Thank God.
it's crazy to me that actually that there is a whole thing in there. They were planning to do this with CGI.
It's too early.
95.
It was too early.
95 CGI.
I mean,
It would have looked like Max Headroom. Like it would have been
Yeah.
insanity.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Yeah, I can't even. It would look like a 64 guy like running
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
It would be so weird. It's just like one of those things where like in the 90s they're like, so technology is becoming like really cool, so we should like make up some weird shit.
Gaming consoles. Everyone was hopped up on Surge. Surge is the cocaine of the 90s. It's the cocaine of the 90s. It's just like wild times.
Because he would have been like a very low poly Sonic. It would have looked.
It would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Like it. The lawnmower man is what's coming to my mind, where it's just like,
yeah.
like it. I don't know why it wouldn't just go like the Roger Rabbit route or something.
Yeah, it'd been like the floating sprite in Tron. Yes. No.
Yeah, it would have been. That's Sonic.
Yeah.
I guess he is a blur. So Sega is like kind of non-committal to producing the movie.
No.
They also stopped at 12-year-old Josh. They're like, I mean, I know it's about like a 12-year-old kid, and I think Sonic is in it.
Maybe I'm just a snob, and it's okay if I am. But if a movie's going to be called Sonic the Hedgehog, the main character should probably be Sonic. If a movie's called Transformers, we should probably be able to see the Transformers and not just how they transform by throwing in a bunch of like nuts and bolts into a dryer and what. I hate those movies.
Okay, all right. To be fair, the original Toy Story came out in 95.
No, that's completely different.
So
I mean, but it's still. I mean, back then, there was, like even the humans were like,
yeah. So we would get Sonic blinking with one eye quicker than the other.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch.
That's the thing, like the Pixar blink or what?
Yeah,
Isn't
And it
it?
was
it's
only
like it's like the John
It's like a
Lasseter
known
blink
thing,
or something.
yeah.
Or what was that? Do you remember that like show that was on television called like Reboot?
Oh, I actually really fucking loved Reboot, but I don't think that would have worked with
That
in
one.
conjunction with live action though.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, that would have looked terrible.
This show.
Unless they put in so much money into it, like as much as they like Pixar was doing, or it would have just been awful.
Look,
yeah,
I
that
loved
CG with
Reboot.
real life would have looked like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Because I loved Reboot as a kid, but you put that in with real life characters, nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Kill it.
Little blue blur devil. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sega's non-committal about it. You're back and forth. They kind of having other issues on the side. Tom Kalinske created this enormous industry in the United States, and then they were really jealous that he did it, and so they kind of just started going around him because they're like, okay, he did it, now we can just do whatever we want, and they sabotaged themselves. Sega Saturn was a bomb, and Sonic X-treme was canceled. So that game never came out, nor the movie. Okay, so sometime after this, Ben Hurst, one of the writers from the animated TV show we were talking about, which ended in 1995 with a cliffhanger, he tried to get DIC Entertainment, who produced the show, interested in a third season. So it's many years later. This is approaching like 2000. I think it's maybe a little after that. He's like kind of wants to like finish up that story.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's talking to the production company. Somehow this gets to Ken Penders, the head writer of the Sonic comics, which are very popular, which I did not really know. And
I did not know there were comics.
yes,
This is news to me.
Yeah.
My son did. He knew about it.
that little bit of time.
He's got a few of them.
Yeah. Very popular that comic run apparently, or still is. I don't know. Anyway, according to Hearst, Penders told Sega about Hearst doing this, and Sega instantly calls Hearst saying, quote, "People pay us to develop Sonic products. We don't pay them," and hung up the phone on him.
Oh.
So
Sega.
because Hearst assumes that Penders threw him under the bus and like went around to
Right.
kind of throw him down. But why? Turns out Penders had his own movie idea called Sonic Armageddon, which he pitched to Sega in 2003.
Yeah.
So he wanted to pitch his own idea. and he didn't want.
a competing.
You want in competition? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he snitched? What
Yes.
a little snitch.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ronnie the Rat. According to Hearst, Penders likes to say that Hearst passed the torch of writing Sonic stories to him. So when the animated show ended, then it was Penders who took up the torch to write the comics for him. Hearst is like, this conversation never happened.
That's funny. That's
He's like clutching the torch to his chest. It never happened.
Yeah.
I still have this fucking torch.
Yeah. The only thing that exists are 4 concept arts of Sonic Armageddon that Penders did. Movie went nowhere. He pitched it to Sega. They had no interest. So he threw Hearst under the bus, and it still didn't work for him. So interesting. Fast forward to 2014, when Sony announces they are partnering with Marza Animation Planet, the animation studio owned by Sega, to make a CG live-action hybrid of Sonic the Hedgehog. So 2014, okay, we know what this will look like now. At least it'll look much better.
right.
To be produced by who? Who would be the perfect guy who really knows fast things?
Oh, the Fast and Furious guy.
Yeah, Neil Mortz from the Fast Saga. Walk into the room. So Neil, this is what I got. Sonic. He's fast, right? Yo!
Listen, I know fast and I know furious, okay? I could do this.
But we got to make it also about family.
Oh, and it kind of is.
It kind of does.
It's perfect. Are we saying that Sonic is part of the Fast and Furious
That'd be
cinematic
so
universe?
fucking funny if that was like the last movie.
Oh man.
Fast 11.
Supersonic.
Ooh,
Fast Supersonic.
shit. It just writes itself.
I heard a really funny joke about. So you remember the very first movie is about them stealing DVDs or like DVD players. Like that's all they do. And now they're like going into space and stopping all these spies and shit.
International.
Like,
Yeah.
crap. And someone was like, the last one should be the ultimate villain behind everything was the guy that owned the DVD players.
The guy that owned the
Man.
the
That'd be so funny. He's
the
like,
electronics company.
you left me behind.
Yeah.
I'm the one responsible for all of this.
Yeah.
You think DVDs died? They didn't die. They've been alive the whole time.
Hold on. I'm getting something on my pager.
Yeah.
And they can't hack him because he's all old school.
Yes.
Oh God, we wrote 2 movies already.
I told you, it writes itself.
Yeah.
Fast 11. Slow down.
Okay, so in 2016, Tim Miller boards as a producer. His first project after directing.
Nope, I'm coming up empty.
He worked for Blur Studio. Blur.
Oh, okay.
Blue Blur. And they did a bunch of test footage to get a movie made, and they had to leak it to get it made.
Oh, the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Deadpool.
Oh.
Oh, no, okay.
We were way off.
I mean, we did have to like leak it, but that was that other.
That was the
Zoots-
Ghostbusters. the
Zoot
video-
Fly.
Zoot
Yeah,
Fly.
Zoot Fly.
Yeah.
They didn't even end up doing it.
Deep cut.
No, this is Tim Miller who did Deadpool.
Tim Miller, duh.
And he's behind Blur Studio. And one of his animators, Jeff Fowler, is set to be his first directing gig, directing Sonic the Hedgehog. To write, Patrick Casey and Josh Miller. Miller and Fowler make some test footage to demonstrate to the studio how they'll handle Sonic's super speed in the movie. For this, they asked Ben Schwartz to do some quick voiceover work for it. And they loved him so much, that's why he's cast as
Because
Sonic.
of course they did. Because how could you not?
Well, it's kind of funny because there's like one guy that's like done Sonic for like ever
Yeah.
on all the other like in the games and stuff.
Right.
And it's a movie, of course. They always got recast, right? But then in the new one, Tails, Colleen O'Shaughnessy or something, I think that's her name, who's always voiced Tails.
Is the OG Tails?
Yeah, and so she does it in the movie.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
So she
That
got
is
to keep her
interesting.
job. At some point, Sony decides they don't want to make the movie and puts it in turnaround. There's no information why. They just we're like, yeah, fuck it, and they just so.
We're really busy with Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
We just don't have time.
That's when production of Morbius started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the entire team goes over to Paramount. So almost everybody, it was only the financiers, really, pretty much. So Tim Miller, Jeff Fowler, the writers, Ben Schwartz, Neil Mortz, they all just go Paramount. And in 2018, they announced they've taken the project and are running with it to be released November 2019.
The reason I know why Paramount took it is because they had any excuse they have to change the stars up to make it something really super cute. So they put the rings in there too. Like, hey, we can do Sonic. Let's do the rings instead.
Oh my God, you guys, that's so perfect. We can put the rings on our ident at the front. This is great. This is great
They're just
for
sitting
us.
there, they're just they finish their pitch. Well, I mean, would you guys like it? I don't know. You can do something with our mountain. We could turn it into rings. Yes!
Sold.
It's cool. As I chug some Surge.
Yeah.
Let's bring back the 90s, baby.
They've all got frosted tips.
Some puka shells.
Does at any point in the movie, even the new one, or maybe I don't remember the first one if it did, does it go Sega?
No, and I wanted it to really
What
bad.
a lame. Okay. In December of 2018, Paramount teases fans with a motion poster. Remember these? They don't really do these that often, do they?
A mopo? Love a good mopo.
Oh my God.
I think we've had too much Surge. What is happening?
They're not really called mopos, are they? You're just throwing that out?
They are now. If they
Fucking
weren't,
shit.
if they were not before, they certainly are now.
Damn it! This is why you get more love than I do, Ray. You're fucking hilarious.
Coming up with zingers like mopo, mofo.
Okay, so so this is the motion poster. He's only silhouetted, and people are instantly like,
Something's off.
something's off. Why is he so lanky? Why is he so muscly?
Yeah, it looks like they took an Olympic runner's body and just stuck a cartoon hedgehog's head on it.
Yeah. So right out the gate, the creative team was on the offensive about Sonic's guess.
The voice.
Voice?
His shoes.
No, his fur.
Okay.
This went back and forth.
Oh, like
The fact that he's furry. They were really trying to be
instead of spiny.
yeah. Because a hedgehog is mostly all spines, right?
he's
And then-
also a fucking video game character.
I know. So it's
Who
kind of
doesn't look like a hedgehog anyway.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they're talk about it. Tim Miller's we didn't want him looking just the sleek otter thing, because it was going to be too weird. So we always just went with fur, and they were really on the offense about it. And I was like, that's fine, whatever. Who cares? And it's kind of this weird thing when you see Detective Pikachu, and you're like, oh, this is what Pokemon look like in the real world. Where you see Jigglypuff is hairy.
Yeah, and you're it's off-putting.
Yeah, and you're like, I mean, I guess it has to be something.
Mr. Mime has pores. It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, it's these kind of details you wouldn't really think about, right?
I don't need realistic skin tones on my Mr. Mime. That's
Yeah.
Did I miss that? Because I thought they looked
fuel.
fine
My point is that you had to think about these things
in the real.
in a real world
Yeah,
context.
okay.
And
Right.
when you see Mr. Mime, he has pores and blemishes
Yeah,
on his
because he
face.
has skin, which is
It's
wait,
he's
that was
skin.
Oh,
skin.
okay.
He's skin,
Ugh.
but then Jigglypuff is furry.
It's furry.
But now imagine her with skin.
No.
Yeah, exactly,
No.
right? So
Yeah,
it's
Pokemon are all just supposed to be smooth.
Well, I mean,
one color.
Just smooth Pokemon.
but yeah, no, you're right. Mr. Mime looks off-putting.
Like he needed to spend a little bit more time in the makeup trailer. Is what I was all
Yeah,
saying.
he looks
All
like
I'm
he looks
saying.
like chewed bubble gum.
I mean, to be fair, that is what he's always been creepy.
Oh, yeah.
So-
yeah, fact. There you go.
The other thing that they were really worried about were his eyes or eye, because
Yes.
Sonic has always had one eye. and
Because
it
he's
connects,
like profile.
No, because it connects under his
Oh,
brow.
right.
Yeah.
And then
right,
he
right.
has two pupils.
Right.
And so they were like, okay, like we got to make sure that we get that right, because that's going to be really weird to do
Yeah.
digitally, right? Okay, Clint, you're going to be Tim Miller, producer Tim Miller.
I don't think Sega was entirely happy with the eye decision, but these sorts of things you go, it's going to look weird if we don't do this. But everything is a discussion, and that's kind of the goal, which is to only change what's necessary and stay true to the rest of it. He's not going to feel like a Pixar character would, because I don't think that's the right aesthetic to make it feel like part of our world.
Okay, so I think this quote is very interesting because this is before people knew what
Right.
Sonic looked like. And that line where he says, we only change what's necessary and stay true to the rest
That's
of it.
bullshit.
Okay,
That's the
we'll come
most
back to that
bullshit I've
quote.
ever heard.
Back
Okay.
to that quote. And then this was Neil Mortz talking about the relationship with Sega.
We've worked so closely with the people at Sega who are kind of the gatekeepers of Sonic to make sure we're lockstep. We're trying to make something that's for today that fans of different versions will love as well.
Okay, we all know where this is going.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
I find these quotes so weird looking back, and you're like, what the fuck?
They kind of already knew. Like, I feel like
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like they were
And they
kind of
were-
like doing damage control before.
Yeah,
Like,
pre-damage control.
like I think they knew that their take was going to be a little bit more extreme than people were expecting.
Right.
And so they were kind of,
it was the puka shells and the surge that did it.
so yeah, that's
God
what
damn it.
Sonic Extreme, instead of a scarf, he would have had puka shells.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and his spines would be frosted.
Frosted.
Frosted tip Sonic.
So I think this one, I just think that they were trying to get like, hey guys, it's a bit weird, but you'll get used to it kind of thing, right? Okay, a few days later, some posters and concept art leak.
Ugh.
And this is a poster that turned out real. That
I am upset by the calf definition. I'll put it that way.
It's too accurate.
It's too again, it looks like they took like an Olympic runner and they were just like, "Hey, will you pose for this?" And then we're going to put like blue on your legs. And it's like he's not a human. Don't give him weird human
Yeah.
legs.
So that's what people are like. Well, okay, his shoes are kind of tiny and small. This so if people want to look up the teaser for this, it's just look up the Sonic poster, Golden Gate Bridge, and it's just a shot of his legs looking over the bridge. But it was kind of like, what
I'm
the
also
fuck?
just
Why is he so lanky?
Yeah, and I'm just really upset because I feel like if that camera were any lower, like I'd see a little blue like hedgehog dick, and I'm not.
Just
I
the
can't.
tip.
Like I'm just gonna need you to not take a picture at that angle, ever.
Oh man.
Oh.
Gotta go fast.
Okay, so then there's one other.
Gotta come fast. Hey-oh.
It was implied, Jenny Ray.
Yeah. I like to be really explicit with my jokes, obviously.
Oh boy.
Okay, here we go. So this is some concept art that leaked. This is in 2018. So they think this was concept art when they were originally pitching the film. With who does that really look like?
It's Chris. What's
Chris
his face?
Pratt.
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the design of Sonic is much more different than both of what we got and what they ended up with. Right?
I was gonna say, because this doesn't look as bad.
That's not as
Yeah,
yeah.
he's-
That's like kind of in between the bad version and what ended up being the real version.
Yeah.
I'll be
he's-
honest with you, that looks like Pixar.
Yeah, like
so no, I think this one's really interesting because he's kind of chubby like a hedgehog. He's more stocky.
right.
And I think this one's very interesting. So clearly they were probably thinking Chris Pratt for the part.
Right.
But I think this one's really interesting, but they clearly went away from that.
Right.
Those legs are not as lean.
Yeah. It's much less upsetting. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Then April 30th, 2019, the trailer arrives.
I remember
Let's
this
all
day.
remind ourselves of this trailer.
SFPD! Meow? Oh, come on. Okay, pal, I want answers. Basically, it looks like I'm gonna have to save your planet. Oh, is that all you got?
No, but thank you for asking.
I feel like I need to like wash my eyes out with some Surge,
Yeah.
like to get it out, that image out of my brain.
It is insane, right? Cue the shit show.
It's bad on so many levels. Okay, I'm assuming we're gonna get into how bad it is.
Even as like I've always been aware of Sonic, right?
Yeah.
And even when Sonic came out for Super Smash Brothers, like he was my main. Like I loved playing with Sonic. He looked really good. His moves were really fun to do. So that's as far as my fandom with Sonic went. Even me watching this, I was like, oh, that's not good. And I felt for all like the fans of Sonic,
super fans.
and I was like, they're gonna lose their shit.
So here's my take on it, because I mean I watched Sonic cartoons, I played Sonic games, but I would not consider myself a Sonic mega fan. So I'm not coming at this from like, oh, he doesn't look like the Sonic from blah, 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 blah. You know, like I don't give a shit. I'm coming at it from like, that is a bad character design. It's bad. It's creepy. It's off-putting. Like he has too many weird human features that don't need to be there. It
he looks like a kid in a pajama suit. Yeah.
He's got lanky limbs and like proportional feet and like weird little human hands that are like so creepy. Human teeth.
Yeah, the teeth. People always talk about the teeth.
It's like, it is a bad character design. Like it's just like a dude wearing fucking Nikes. Like, get out of here. Like, if you're creating a fictional, cartoonish, fast alien hedgehog, why would you go out of your way to be like, let's make him look as human as possible? That is such a poor choice.
It's like leaning into the uncanny valley.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. It's like, why? Like, and what's most insane about this, when you see the movie, you might think that, okay, they're making Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Maybe it'll be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where Surge/Ooze gets on a hedgehog and he turns into Sonic that we know, right? He is a mutant or something like that. But if you've seen the movie, he's from a different world.
Yeah.
So what does it matter that he looks like a hedgehog?
Right.
Like, he's an alien. He can look like anything.
Right.
That blows my mind.
Well, and yeah, and I like what you were saying about it leans into the uncanny valley. It's, yes, absolutely. And that's why it's problematic. It's like, no. Lean away from it. Lean as far away from it as you possibly can. That would be like them deciding to, I mean, Mr. Mime creepiness aside, like to like make Pikachu like have little human hands. Like, why? Yeah. No, like the whole point is that it's cute.
There's elements in there that all make sense individually, right? Like making him separating his eyes.
Sure.
Making his hedgehog nose more like a hedgehog. Making him a lot more spiny.
Giving him some texture so he looks a little more real.
Instead of having gloves, because he's supposed to be a creature, right?
Right, like why would he have Mickey Mouse gloves?
Yeah, why would he have shoes that would fit a child, right? And it just like all those individual elements make sense. Then you put it all together and you just go,
it's an abomination of nature.
I'll tell you what though, that fur looked great.
No problems with the texture, you guys. No issues there. Don't give a shit about that at all.
So, okay. Everybody's like, what in good hell?
I remember this day. I remember this time. I remember all of it.
I remember our buddy Taylor. I remember he blew up like online, just like shit talking this whole thing. He's like, what the hell is this? Like he was like depressed.
He's like, I don't think I can go on.
He's like, if this is the Sonic they're gonna give me, I don't think I can live anymore. Like it was. I remember he was so upset about it.
I mean, like, I get it. I get it. If it was like, I'm not a big Sonic guy, but like, I get it. Like, this would be so weird to see like one of your favorite characters come to life in that way. It's so creepy. Okay, so This is original Sonic designer Naoto Oshima about this look of Sonic.
Sonic is a fairy hedgehog, so he doesn't need to be designed closer to a real hedgehog even in a live action. Mickey doesn't become a mouse in live action, does he?
Yeah, exactly right. If they made Mickey Mouse, that's a perfect example. Big-eyed, big head, gloves, big shoes, skinny frame, big ears, like
Right.
perfect example. And if they made a digital Mickey Mouse look like that, you'd be like, what in God's name?
Yeah. That would be so upsetting. And you know what? I actually think that I might have been less offended if they had made him look at least like a hedgehog. Like, if it had just been like, hey, look at this tiny, cute hedgehog, and he's blue and he's fast, I would have been like, all right.
Oh my God, I would have loved that.
That would have
if it
been
was
adorable.
just like, if they just like
It's just
baked.
like,
Actual
don't-
little
Yeah.
palm of your hand hedgehog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be so cute.
like, hedgehogs are cute as hell.
Gotta go fast. Yeah.
See, look, I would see. So, like, I guess where I'm coming from is I don't care that they were like, hey, you know what, we're going to kind of like take some liberties with the character or like freshen up his look or like do a little bit of a redesign. But just like, but don't make him look like a creepy, weird child in a suit. Just
Yes.
like so many bad decisions.
Yes.
So many.
So, after all this hate, all this just constant bombardment,
Yeah.
only 3 days later, this is what director Jeff Fowler tweeted.
Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be. Hashtag Sonic movie. Hashtag gotta fix fast.
Oh, that's an well hashtagged. Well done, Jeff Fowler.
The movie is delayed from November 2019 to February 2020 for these changes.
I mean, I guess this is a dumb question because obviously that was enough time, but is that enough time to? It feels like they kind of like had it in their back pocket already. Like, hey, that's a conspiracy. Oh shit, yeah, they're probably like, hey,
One for our
Sonic's
Reddit.
really gonna look like this, like the good one, right? It's like, but hey, we want to make some buzz about this movie, so let's release some
Okay.
shit posters and a shit design, and then let's see what happens. Like, oh yeah, because they knew it was gonna be fucking
That's
awful.
pretty diabolical.
That is an interesting theory though, because there's honestly no it doesn't make sense to me why they designed him this way, and so
Yeah.
my brain has to go into conspiracy world where I'm like maybe like they did it on purpose to like
Yeah.
get fans all riled up, or maybe they were like using it as like testing, like live user like 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 audience testing or whatever. Just be like, do you like
Yeah,
this design? No, okay, we'll change it.
global focus group.
Global focus group, yes.
Yeah.
They're like, Twitter is our focus group now.
Oh fuck! You want Twitter as your focus group?
Yeah. Yeah. Why does he have boobs? Where'd that dick?
We want to see a Sonic dick.
It is kind of insane. I mean, we talk about this a lot, but it's just like this had to go by so many people. So many
Yes.
people had to sign off on this.
I think about that about bad movies all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But like this was just like who like I would maybe give it to him if he wasn't the size of a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Like if they shrunk him down, like if they made his limbs just a little tiny, he would kind of maybe look like that cute little hedgehog.
Yeah.
But it's just so many things on it. It was just like, oh my God, this is kind of crazy that it got this far.
hey, I got an idea for a design. What if Michael Phelps was covered in blue fur and could run instead of swim? Done.
Find out that it was actually supposed to be a Michael Phelps movie that they were just like he pulled out of, and they just digitally put Sonic over him.
They just repurposed his mocap.
Okay, so in comes Tyson Hess. Hess was an artist for the Sonic comic series, going back to that, before being hired by Sega to make make animated YouTube shorts as semi-promotions for whatever current game that they were making or marketing. And these are insanely popular, I found. Like 10 million views on each of these shorts. And they're pretty cute. They're not voiced. They're traditional animation. And they're pretty cool. They're very Looney Tunes, like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Paramount hires Hess to be the lead designer for the redesign of Sonic. Now, about your question about how hard this isn't just a simple like model swap. As we pointed out, like he's really tall in that trailer.
Right.
He is like 4 feet, right? And the new one, he's like 2.5, 3, right?
Right.
So
and his eye lines.
Oh, okay. I'll get to the eye lines in a second.
Okay.
But his proportions are all off.
Right.
Right? Because his arms aren't that long and his legs aren't that long. And so they have to constantly change it. His eyes are way bigger and his mouth is different. So they have to re-rig the entire thing, which requires them to reanimate everything that they had done.
Yep.
So it is not a quick and easy fix.
I'm telling you, man, they already had it in their back pocket. All this research that you've done is planted.
You totally work for Sega.
They're paying you to say
this stuff.
But eyeline is another thing.
Yeah.
So actually, I knew going in, thinking about how they did the redesign for it. If you watch that movie, the eyeline is really wonky. So like that part in where he's like sitting in the car with him, like Sonic is sitting in there and he like looks over to him and they're kind of matching eyes. And the new one, like he has to be standing because he's so much shorter.
Right. To get James Marsden's eyes to match. Yeah.
All throughout, if you watch it, there is very kind of like wonky where it looks like he's looking at his top of his spines or something.
Right.
Because they can't quite, whatever situation they're in, Sonic is not tall enough for the scenario. And
so they either just changed Sonic so that his eyeline would match, because that's easier than reshooting everything with James Marsden.
Yeah, but they didn't reshoot anything.
Right.
They only changed the VFX.
Right.
So they have to, so for an example, there's a whole scene in the bar. Instead of having Ugly Sonic standing on a bar stool, they put him on the bar. Like they have to do like things like that. Now, one of the very one you'll absolutely think is weird if you watch it again, at the very end where Tom, Marsden's character, gives back the bag of rings to Sonic, he hands it and he's like a foot over Sonic's hands and he just drops it. Like it's supposed to be like handing off.
Yeah.
And he like drops it into his hands because Sonic is so much freaking shorter. Like if you watch it, you realize like it's supposed to be like a very powerful moment of them like handing off.
Right.
And it's like, here.
Yeah.
He just like drops
It
it.
stays like think fast.
Yeah, exactly. So like stuff like that, they had to get creative with like fixing those holes. So not that super easy.
Right.
Most of this falls in the hands of Moving Picture Company, a VFX house that has branches across the world. Their Vancouver studio handled the Sonic redesign.
Oh, Canada.
They also won
Gotta hand it to Canada.
This particular studio won the Oscar for Life of Pi.
Oh. Clap, clap.
Really good fur in that one too.
Yeah. Tiger boat.
Okay. Mid-November, a new trailer with a redesigned look. So,
It's just so much better. Like it almost makes me mad that somebody thought that was okay. Yeah, like the eyes are so much better. They're bigger and more cartoony. He's got the gloves, which fine. The nose. I did not realize how creepy the nose was until just now. Like
Right? Yeah. You know it's creepy, but you can't really like put your finger on it until you see it side by side.
Side by side.
Okay.
Yeah, the mouth is better.
like
The teeth are better. It's horrifying.
he's smiling right there, and you're like,
Yeah, no, that's nightmare fuel. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Arms and legs.
And
Yeah.
can we also talk about the fact that they used Coolio's gangster beard?
Yes.
What?
Well, Coolio has similar hair, right?
Like he doesn't have a butt in in the new one, which is how it should be. I don't need a Sonic butt. I can't and I won't.
My goodness.
They kind of kept like, he has skin arms in the game, but they kept the blue arms, which
Yeah.
just makes sense.
Which makes more sense, yeah. It's just it is night and day.
It's
oh my God.
kind of crazy that it got that far.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe it
Wild.
wasn't even like somewhat near that.
Right.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Okay. A rumor on Twitter suggests that it was costing Paramount an extra $35 million to do this, which was quickly debunked, and a source says it was around the $5 million mark to redo this.
Still a lot of money, but
yeah.
worth it.
Also, according to the source, any rumor alleging the redesign made the Sonic VFX team suffer is far from true.
Okay.
2 weeks before Christmas, a moving picture company, Vancouver, is told to shut down immediately. And the only reason we know this is because someone posted the eternal memo on Reddit. Close to 800 people lost their jobs.
Whoa.
Oh, shit. After they did such a good job?
After they all did a redesign.
Why? Just because they were like...
They said it was competing markets or something like that, but I don't know. Like,
Well, at least they have this as their legacy.
I don't know if it was like it pushed them too far. They said that there was no crunch, but people were saying that the people replying to that Reddit thread were like, yeah, we absolutely did crunch.
There's no way you could do that and not have a crunch.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. So that story doesn't really end up the happiest.
Aw, that was a bummer.
Sonic the Hedgehog released February 14th, 2020. Budget of...
At least $5 million.
5 million plus.
I was counting. I was paying attention.
55 million.
55.
I'm going to go ahead and say 42.
85.
Jesus.
Which is kind of way higher than when you see the movie. You're kind of like, all right. It had a worldwide gross of $319 million.
Nice.
So that's pretty decent, but hold off on that for a second. Rotten Tomatoes, 600. Wow. 63% via critics and 93% on audiences. I think 63 is just where it should be. I think the movie is very much a kid movie.
Yeah. It's fun, though. It's a fun movie.
It's fun. Yeah, Jim Carrey really crushes it. When he's not on screen, it kind of like Sonic can kind of get a little annoying.
How dare you?
I've seen this movie a lot.
Because you're kids.
It is a kid's movie. My daughter loves it. Quinn, my son, he thought it was cool when it came out. I have to say that because he's like 11 now. So it's like if you say like, oh, he thought it was cute, he'd be like, no, Dad, it wasn't cute.
Cool.
It was cool.
It was cool.
Get your head out of your ass, Dad.
As he's like walks away chugging a can of Surge.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you,
What
man.
happened to you?
Old man.
Spits in his spittoon.
But so coming at it from the view of like as a parent, I'm like, and you said 63, and I was like, well, it should be higher than that. But they're like, well, no, as an adult who has a more critical mind, 63 is fair. And you're 100% right, though, about Jim Carrey just crushing it. He's fantastic. And
it's just him being back in his 90s days.
Yeah, it's the
90s Surge.
Yeah.
He was running on Surge in that performance.
Whole time.
Joygasm!
It's exactly what I want out of a Jim Carrey performance.
Yeah, I just think we'll get into the end of it. But so it was doing pretty well. Then quarantine.
Dun, dun, dun.
So it only got like a month in there before we all were not allowed to go to theaters anymore. But it was still enough for Paramount to announce a sequel by mid-May of 2020. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was released April 8th of 2022. So they made that whole movie in a pandemic. What's funny about this is Paramount's Top Gun Maverick still hasn't come out yet. They delayed the movie so many times they made another Sonic movie in that time.
In the amount of time?
That's funny.
Damn.
So, lastly, let's talk about what you're going to say. Like, there's often this thing. It's kind of more of a toxic thing on Twitter called where people say hire fans.
Right.
Where fans think they know better, that they design better. And a lot of times it's really...
Or it's like we were talking about, right? That movies should be like bespoke. Well, like, I didn't like this because it didn't have this one thing that I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
and
reason
that
why this
fans-
thing is so popular and successful is because of me, a fan. So you should listen to me.
And the idea is that nobody there making these movies would ever be fans. Like,
Right.
that's so wrong on
Right.
so many levels.
That everyone involved in the making of anything is just some soulless corporate shill that's just
Yeah.
like, whatever, I don't give a shit. I'm just here to make money.
Just
Yeah.
put the kid in a Sonic pajamas and we're good.
Yeah, it's like a lot of it is really misogynistic when they're like, the costume's not like it is on the anime or some bullshit.
Oh, like the Cowboy Bebop
Cowboy
remake
Bebop.
recently. Yeah.
And there's a big one about Horizon Zero Dawn's character who looks just like a person. They're like, she's ugly. She should look more like a model. Like, everybody has their different opinion, but it's so hard because in this scenario, what the fuck? For Sonic, that was so many people said, yeah, that looks good.
Well, that.
And then they literally hired a fan. And it's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
It's like the exception to the rule a little bit,
Right.
but maybe.
Oh, yeah. I struggle with this a lot too because you show me a lot of the stuff that happens on Twitter of people just being like, why doesn't this character dress the way I want them to or look the way I want them to? And like usually it's like when you adapt, right? Like we talked about this last time. You do an adaptation and you can't possibly put everything from the book into the movie. It's a different format. It's a different medium. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't translate. And like so the example of Cowboy Bebop, right? Like Faye's outfit in the live action Cowboy Bebop, which I will admit I have not watched, even though I'm a huge Cowboy Bebop fan, but it's because I heard it was not great, so I just did not watch it. But people were like up in arms about like, oh, her outfit doesn't look anything like it does in the anime. And it's like, her outfit in the anime is absurd. It is fucking absurd. A real human woman could not wear that outfit. Yeah. It's basically tissue paper and like floss. Like it is the most absurd fucking outfit. And so it's stuff like that that's just like, you guys, like you have to be kind of realistic about like when something is translated from like an animated medium to a live action medium, for a book to a movie, there's just certain stuff that you can't do. But in this case, it's one of those things where it's like they had absolute like complete freedom to design Sonic however they wanted, and that's what they chose.
Yeah.
And like I said, and
again, an alien.
Correct.
It could have been anything.
And so the way I justify it, right, with like kind of, you know, holding both opinions of like toxic fandom is problematic, but also fans were 100% correct in this situation.
Yeah.
How I hold both of those things in my head is to say what I said earlier, which is like, I don't care that they wanted to do some redesigns or make Sonic look a little different or kind of like, you know, make him more modern looking or whatever. Like I don't care, but like don't make him insane looking. Like don't make like I said, so many poor design decisions, and like they kind of overcorrected and made him like very close to the video games and to the comics and to the cartoon, which is fine because it looks good. But like they could have gone somewhere in between. Yeah, like if
they hit somewhere right in the middle, I don't think people would have been mad.
People wouldn't have cared.
Like that teaser poster with
exactly.
the Patrick Wilson Chris Pratt hybrid
forehead,
right? Which so they just made up a hybrid Sonic and a hybrid actor for that concept art.
I mean, you're exactly right. I think if they hit in between there, people would have been kind of like, okay, it's not mine. It's not mine. Some people have been mad.
Right.
Some people would have been like, you know, it's totally fine. Wait until you see the movie. He's actually really
right.
cute. Whatever.
But some of the really intense fans probably still would have been mad.
Absolutely. Everybody's mad about constantly.
They'll
everything.
be mad about something. But like you're right. Like the majority of people would have just been like, oh yeah, that's Sonic, whatever.
Yeah.
But because it was so egregiously wrong, like people I know who don't even know like anything about Sonic were like, like that's how bad it was.
It was so creepy. I mean, I'm kind of
bad.
starting to fall for your idea that it was like they were just doing it for buzz.
I'm going to choose to believe that conspiracy theory because it's better for me than thinking somebody thought that was a good character design.
Yeah, and to shut up the witnesses. they closed that Vancouver shop.
Oh my
800 people, like that. No witnesses. You know what I mean?
Holy shit, you guys.
Yeah.
Whoa. This goes straight to the top.
Yeah.
Straight to the top.
All because Paramount wanted to have a couple of rings going around their mountain.
Steep price to pay.
Oh man.
But the thing is that like, okay, so the whole like hire fans, like this wasn't like the collective fan base on the internet was just like, this is what we think Sonic should look like. They just were like, oh, sorry, we missed the mark. Okay, we're gonna hire a guy who is a Sonic designer who designed the character. Bring him in here and make Sonic look just like the classic Sonic. So it wasn't even like this wasn't even really a hire fans situation. It was more just like focus group, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put something out there. They went, oh no, oh sorry, and then they like put a new thing out there that was better. Like,
and I think where this one is kind of the exception to that is just that it was more of a global thing and not just the fans.
Right.
It wasn't just the fans who were being like, that's not what Sonic looks like.
That's true.
It was everybody.
That's
Yeah.
Everybody
that's
who
true.
saw everybody who saw this trailer, whether you're a Sonic diehard or not, are like, that's a
that
fucking weird
looks
looking thing.
like shit.
Yeah.
What even am I
That's-
looking at?
That's actually, I mean, that kind of helps me rationalize this more because it was so beyond fans
Yeah.
that they were mad about it.
And so like I'm kind of on that outside of like a Sonic fan, but I saw that and I was like, no,
No.
Yeah.
no,
No,
I'm
thank
not
you.
gonna
No, thank you.
I'm not gonna subject my children to this.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Worth it.
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry, 800 people.
Yeah, I'll see. Yes, with that exception of those 800 people.
Well,
I mean,
you
they
could-
didn't
but
lose
like,
their job
why
because
did they?
of Sonic.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
why? Like, okay, if you had said like the original studio that designed the shitty Sonic lost their jobs, I would have been like, that's understandable. That's understandable that VFX studio went under. Sorry, all those people.
Yeah,
But, like,
here's some
this one-
surge for a severance package.
Yeah, this one is like weird because it's like they did this like really amazing redesign and it made the movie significantly better. But like the whole studio shutting down thing is like, I don't know. That wasn't a result of that, obviously. So I don't know like what the extenuating circumstances were.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna say it was worth it.
Yeah, conspiracy. I agree. It was worth it. Again, coming from a parent's perspective, because it's just a fun movie to watch with my kids.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the problems with the movie for me is that there's not a lot of for adults to enjoy in it that
For sure.
much.
Yeah.
Especially when Jim
Unlike
Carrey's
a
not
Pixar.
there. Yeah, like there's not a lot of like adult jokes that are kind of hidden in, or just really smart, funny jokes that Pixar is incredibly good at, that kind of stuff.
Right.
It seems to be very just kid humor constantly.
Yeah, and you're right, because I'm not going to watch this movie on my own. I'll definitely have to watch it. I'm not going to just like, you know what I'm going to watch tonight? Should I watch Dune? Should I watch I don't know, a classic Star Wars? I want to watch Sonic. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you're right. No, it's definitely for kids, and it's fun to watch it with my kids because they love it. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be getting a tattoo of Sonic the Hedgehog anytime soon.
Yeah, honestly, even just for the sanity of like every parent in the world who had to watch this with their kids, like, or have to watch it over and over and over again. Like, can you imagine having to be subjected, like having to be subjected to that like monstrosity of a Sonic every single time? Like that alone is worth it.
Well, especially
to have the change.
especially being released just before just right at the height of or the beginning of the pandemic, because I remember they came out with the movie and then they released it digitally super quick for people to have at home to watch.
Right.
And we watched it a ton of times. If my kids, because they wouldn't have known any better really, my son would be like, yeah, it looks weird, you know, but he was
Whatever,
like,
yeah.
But if he had like, Daddy, want to watch Sonic? Like, oh my god, again.
No.
I was like, just drink some Surge and we'll pretend you watched it.
I'm just gonna close my eyes for a minute. Just a little minute. That was a bad time, early 2020. So I'm glad we at least got this better Sonic.
Yeah, I'll say it's worth it. But I don't think it ever should have gotten to that point.
Yep.
It's definitely better because of it. And honestly, as a animation kind of nerd, like I think the animators probably had way more fun animating the new Sonic than they did having a child in in a costume.
Because you can be more cartoony with the movements and the action, and it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
so.
it would be so.
Like the
It's much more
fingers,
fun.
Like the human fingers he had.
Yeah.
Like those people are haunted, probably.
Yeah.
Haunted by that experience.
So to end this, our friend, the delightful Vicky, did ask us to go see Sonic 2 so she can determine whether she'll see it. Me and Jane and Ray have not seen it.
We haven't seen it, yeah.
Clint, yes or no?
Yeah, I think so. It was fun. Fitting sequel. Again, Jim Carrey just steals the whole show, and him with the shaved head and the mustache, that's a beautiful character design. If you want, that's interesting to think because he didn't have the Robotnik look really for the first movie, and fans are like, sure.
Yeah.
Sonic didn't have the look of Sonic in the first movie before, and fans are like, fuck you, give us a real Sonic, right? But then we get like a real Sonic and a real Robotnik for Sonic 2.
The classic Robotnik look.
Yeah, bald head, crazy mustache. It was great.
That's what I've heard. It's very much more leans into the video game.
I mean, I would just say to Vicky, I've not seen this movie, and I would recommend it for Jim Carrey alone. I'm telling you right now,
he's great in it.
You should go see it just for that performance.
I liked him more in this one than I did in the first one, but he was great in the first
More
one.
crazier.
Yeah,
Peak Carrey.
he leans into the crazy.
Delicious.
Any-
I heard.
What a missed opportunity.
Where did I hear this? I was listening to. Oh fuck! I listened to too many podcasts. I was listening to a podcast somewhere about something, and they talked about the line like "Sega," like that was just a voice actor just like dicking around doing takes. Did you tell me this story?
Yes.
Okay,
On
I
this
was
podcast.
like-
Yeah, the podcast you were talking about, the podcast you're listening to is this very podcast because I remember that too.
Tracks. Okay, tell me the story again. You guys, I listen to so many podcasts. I don't even know what I say on my own podcast. Oh, this is my life.